I make this look good.
Will, Willow, Jada and Jaden Smith. It may sound like the world's most narcissistic anagram, but they are in fact one of today's most successful showbiz dynasties, traversing the film, TV and music businesses. So the Smith family's basically an industry now. Between Jada, Willow, you two, do you guys actually have family dinners, or are they like technically board meetings?
Filmmaking and entertainment is what we do, and as parents we use it as our parenting tool. Like, that's how we bring up the ideas about the world and growing and life and love.
And their latest parenting tool is this.
Crash landed. 2 confirmed survivors. Do you know where we are?
No, sir.
This is Earth.
After Earth takes you to a distant future where skin-tight rubber outfits are back in and our planet has long since been abandoned. That is, until a father and son team, Will and Jaden, crash land on it. What follows is a surprisingly intense survivalist movie, with Will playing against type as an utterly humorless army general with an inexplicable South African accent and the highly plausible name of Cypher Rage.
With these characters, for example, with Cypher Rage, I was pulling a lot from my father.
He was in the Air Force.
He was in the Air Force, so I understood what it meant to be a military man and think of things in terms of life and death. You know, don't pedal like that, and your right foot first, that's your strong foot, and you push out, you're like, you know, or you could die.
And from your point of view, how much of your relationship with your dad were you funneling into your character?
Very similar, especially towards the beginning of the movie, because once we crashed down on Earth,
It got very different.
It
got very different from our life.
Yeah.
Our real life.
You guys never crash landed on Earth before?
Yeah, we've
seriously?
never.
No,
actually
I mean,
crash landed.
technically, when you land in a plane, it's a controlled crash land. So technically, we have crash landed on Earth.
Okay. That's deep.
Yeah.
And there's a great story about how you actually got into acting in the first place, which is, I understand, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it started with a phone call from the IRS.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
man.
That was.
That's a fantastic story.
Well, it actually started with flopping an album, and I moved to California, and I met Quincy Jones at a television show called the Arsenio Hall Show.
You started going to the Arsenio Hall show because your girlfriend at the time was like, you can't just sit around the house. And you were like, what do you want me to do, go stand around the Arsenio Hall show? And she was like, yeah.
I met the guy who was actually the real life Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was based on his life, a guy named Benny Medina. And just going every day and meeting famous people, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air developed out of that.
When you were at that young age, did you ever kind of think to yourself, is this fleeting? Is this my 15 minutes?
I never thought about it in those terms. You know, for me, it was always fun. And it took quite a few years before it even became a business in my mind. It was something that I loved doing. I loved entertaining. You know, I grew up in the church, so everything in my life was about creating something that had a value. So I never thought of my career or my creations in terms of something that would go away unless I disrespected them.